Well, good morning, everybody. How's it going out there? Peace, love, truth, and happiness. Rick's back. Yesterday was payday and dispensary trip, so no video. So I've got a video today. Going to talk about the Justice Department, how they got $0 to go after medical marijuana. Nothing. The Justice Department gets no money. Love it. I'll read off some websites in there I got set up to go when we get back in. But, I wanted to talk about, I've been touting Tracy's products, CBD, Hemp Save Me, hempsaveme.com. They work. I know they work. They worked on Debbie in 4 days. I told you, 18 months of feeling like crap, and 4 days fixed her. Oh, by the way, this is because I tore a chunk of my thumb nail, and it's attached to the meat, so I have to keep it covered, because if it pulls off, it's going to hurt. But basically, it doesn't hurt, only if I try to pull it off, because, like I said, it's attached to the meat under my thumb pad, so I can't just trim it off. Anyway, though, that's what this is for. But where was I? Oh yeah, touting the benefits of Tracy's products. But Debbie pointed out that, I give all the credit to the hemp oil. I can't. Sorry, Tracy, but I did start the Rick Simpson oil at the same time. And that stuff is potent. Well, the hemp oil is potent too. I'm taking the full spectrum, the stuff that Tracy recommends for anybody with chemotherapy or cancer. Take the 900 milligram full spectrum unflavored hemp oil. Well, I'm taking the Rick Simpson too, and I'm taking the hybrid, the one that's supposed to get you high. I never feel high from it, but I'm getting up to, I started with a half grain of rice at the first of the last month, and I'm up to about 3 or 4 grains of rice. If you're curing cancer, you want to actually work your way up until you're taking a whole full gram syringe every day. Oh, that's $65 a day. I can't do that. But that's for cancer treatment. I'm treating Hep C and emphysema. And everything I'm taking, my opiates, all they do is for my pain. And Seroquel and amitriptyline, Valium for sleeping. But Seroquel works on pain also. And, I don't know what I'm talking about. Gotta go inside and get on track here. I'll see you inside in just a second. And welcome back. Here we are. Hope everybody can see me okay. I kind of look dim to myself here. That's the brightest the light gets on me. Anyway, it could be my vision. So, I want to, as always, address the president. And I want to do it here at the start. And I want to say, Mr. Trump, I'm glad that both sides of the House voted to keep no money for the Justice Department to attack medical marijuana states. And I've got the normal here, the weekly legislative update from the 29th of April, just 2-3 days ago. So, this is the normal legislative roundup, and it says, at the federal level, it's important to highlight 2 key developments pertaining to established marijuana consumers, businesses, and regulatory structures. The protections for lawful medical marijuana patients and businesses from the Department of Justice provided by the Rohrabacher-Farr budget amendment was temporarily extended through May 5th, and we are working to ensure that it will be a part of any budget deal for the rest of the fiscal year. Well, it already has. That came out yesterday. So the Justice Department did not get any money. So they cannot try to enforce the federal laws against marijuana because of the 10th Amendment. The 10th Amendment stands is that all states, anything that is not relegated to the federal government in the Constitution, devolves down to the state level for state legislators to make and enact laws within their state, as long as they don't clash with federal laws or anything in the Constitution. That is the 10th Amendment of the Bill of Rights. It's the last amendment, and it's very important. It's almost more important than the first two: freedom of speech and right to bear arms. Number 1, number 2, and 10. All three of those are equal in my mind, as they should all be the number one thing to think about. Okay? Let me see what my other website here had. Wrong page. I got stuff here on appeal court rules that feds cannot prosecute medical marijuana cases unless state. Well, this is from August last year. But a federal court banned the Justice Department from prosecuting medical marijuana cases if no state laws were broken. That's just it. And that's why I turn in people that are trying to sell illegally through the mail and through my groups. That's that part that really pisses me off, is that they're trying to go in and piggyback into my group and sell illegal weed. Well, I'm the only admin. I am in control. Everybody knows I've got these rules I've been talking about. Okay, and you've got to follow the rules. I'm sorry. This is a legal minefield I'm walking through here. So I have to be careful. I don't want people to say, Rick told me I should take this, I should do this. No. Any advice I give is personal and not professionally backed up. I have no PhD, no medical doctorate or anything. But I have research and intelligence and freedom of thought and expression, and everything I do, I've researched. Everything I give you, I research. So, Mr. Trump, you want to build a wall. Start the farmers growing hemp. And grow medical marijuana strains. And keep your crops separate, because medical marijuana will pollinate hemp plants and make them THC. You got to keep your plants separate. Hemp's over here. But your marijuana is someplace else. But the federal government grows their own medical marijuana, gives it to the veterans as they come home. I explained in my other video just yesterday or the day before or whatever that everybody is coming home from the Middle East that has potential of PTSD because they're living in a hostile environment where you never know if somebody's going to try to kill you. So, men and women alike, combat related or not, they're coming home and they deserve to be able to get medical marijuana. And you should not make them pay for it. Because you, the federal government, sent people to war. And you spend billions. We're spending multi-millions to $1 billion per day to keep all of our troops in the Middle East in beans and bullets and equipment. And they're all in a hostile environment. And when they come home, they should not have to battle their mind. Medical marijuana has been proven to reduce opiate consumption, to reduce the symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, depression, pain relief, phantom limb pain from limbs that are lost. You know, some of these multiple amputees have intense pain on the legs or arms that aren't there anymore. Phantom pain is real. So let me see here. This was just from, well, like I said, this was from last year. It's not what I wanted. I thought I had something else. I have to back up. Let me find something that's lately. I'm sorry, hold on a second. Hello, I found it. This is on the Huffington Post, by the way. HuffPost.com, m.huffpost.com. This is from yesterday, 6:35 p.m. Eastern. Congress gives Jeff Sessions $0 to go after medical marijuana laws. Sorry. It is the latest sign that a major federal crackdown on state pot laws is not likely. So, Congress once again is blocking the Justice Department from spending any money that interferes with state medical marijuana laws. That's the only way it should have come out, because the 10th Amendment and the Supreme Court, if it goes to the Supreme Court, the 10th Amendment allows the states to do what they want under certain provisions. And the health of the population is a federal job with the CDC, AMA, and all that. But it is also devolves to the state level when the federal government will not provide for people with chronic pain. Okay? The government wants to wage a war on opiates, on legitimate patients like me. Okay? I've been smoking all morning. I took my morphine this morning. I'm not even high. I don't feel buzzed. I just feel a drop in pain. I feel closer to normal. And that's what I need to feel. I need to feel close to normal. Well, I'm still in the distressing and very distressing range, pain-wise, every day now. But that's the lowest I can get. And it takes opiates, morphine, Seroquel, amitriptyline, Valium, medical marijuana, and hemp oil, and Rick Simpson oil. All these things together help me with my pain, PTSD, stress, anxiety, depression. I'm taking 13 college courses at my own pace, all at the same time. And I'm up to a month ahead in some of them. I can sit back for a month before I have to look at another lecture. Tell me that weed makes me unmotivated. I had pain, intense pains from 15 and 16. I wrote all those poems, 700 poems, many of which dealt with pain or medical marijuana. All those poems came out because of my pain. Well, my pain levels dropped. I'm not writing anymore. But the weed helped me creatively output my poetry. It does. Sativa strains especially open up the creativity in your mind. And the cannabinoids in weed don't just do those one certain things. Okay, I'm taking massive doses of CBD, hemp oil. And I'm smoking CBD strain dominant marijuana buds. And the Rick Simpson oil, hemp oil, all this all together. And I'm going to kick Hep C's butt. I'm going to fix my emphysema. And I'll do it by smoking weed and taking the hemp oil. And to hear that the federal government has backed us up and has not allowed any money to be funded to Jeff Sessions for him to hinder state laws on medical marijuana. It's just great. In this newly unveiled budget bill, lawmakers included a provision known as the Rohrabacher-Farr Amendment that allows states to carry on with crafting their own medical marijuana policies without fear of federal intervention. The bill that funds the government through to the end of September is expected to pass this week. Here is the full text of the marijuana provision. Water. Quote, none of the funds made available in this act to the Department of Justice may be used with respect to any of the states of Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Illinois, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Mass, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nevada. That's all the states. Okay, that's all 50. So, yes. And Wyoming, or with respect to the District of Columbia, Guam, or Puerto Rico. Inhibits them to prevent any of them from implementing their own laws that authorize the use, distribution, possession, or cultivation. Now it says it's not unusual to find this tucked into a budget bill. Lawmakers have been renewing the MMJ provision in every consecutive budget since it first passed in 2014. But what it shows is that Congress isn't interested in stepping up federal oversight of state pot laws under the Trump administration, even as Jeff Sessions hints that he wants a crackdown. He issued an ominous warning in February to states with legal medical marijuana. States, they can pass the laws they choose, Sessions said at a Justice Department briefing. I would just say it does remain a violation of federal law to distribute marijuana throughout any place in the United States, whether a state legalizes it or not. Okay. I'll say again to Mr. Trump, President Trump, this cabinet appointee, the Justice Department is supposed to be impartial. Okay? Justice. This is the legal branch of the government. Okay? The things that oversee the FBI and all those things. Okay? And this guy said good people don't smoke marijuana. And pot is only slightly less awful than heroin. Well, whereas last year heroin killed nearly 13,000 people, whereas nobody has ever died from marijuana use. It says overdose, but it's use. Let's see. I don't know where I'm going here. Oh yeah, talking to the president. I guess the president, I'm hoping to spur something on. And I'm hoping people share my videos to help spur on the federal government to think hard about utilizing hemp industry. Okay? Cotton is a poisoned plant. We poison it. Okay? Our clothes have got mega poisons in them. That's why you should always wash your clothes before you wear them for a while. Try them on in the store, take them off, and wash them before you wear it for any length of time. Because they put chemicals in there. Hemp clothing does not need these chemicals. It doesn't need mothballs. Okay? When hemp grows, the terpene profile keeps bugs away. The roots take over and dominate the ground, and they do not allow weeds to grow. So when you harvest your crop, you're not harvesting any weeds. There's no grasses and shit in there you have to separate out. You're getting all hemp. 30 tons of high protein seed per acre. 300 tons of fiber for everything. The woody inner core, the hurd, for paper. Long-lasting, archival quality paper. All these things can be done with hemp. 44,000 acres of trees per day can be saved if we wipe our asses with hemp paper instead of wood paper. Okay? And hemp is quickly biodegradable. Okay? So you don't have to worry about it being septic safe. We use Scott tissue because we're on septic. We can't use Cottonelle and Northern. Those things block up your septic tanks. We use Scott tissue because it's quickly biodegradable. Hemp would be better. Okay, some of my friends already started using hemp seeds because I've told you they do a body good. Perfect protein. One of the only places to find gamma-linolenic acid. The only balanced food with the perfect balance of omega-3s and 6s. And the high CBD content of the leaves makes for wonderful animal feed, which makes for healthy animals that don't need antibiotics and shit shoved into them before we get them at the end of the food chain. Okay? It's the same with the GMOs and Monsanto. They feed cows nasty shit, this RBST crap and growth hormones, and it's just wrong. And fortunately, I don't drink milk, but I like beef, okay? But you don't know what's in it anymore, okay? And with the Monsanto Protection Act, and they're now protected to poison us further, I've decided to change my diet. I mean, I was still a Burger King, I want a Whopper, and fries and a pie and everything. Like Debbie last night, she goes, "We want to stop for food on the way home?" I said, "No, I want to go home and make a salad." That's what I did. We got home close to 7 o'clock. It was, and it takes me a half an hour to chop up my whole salad, but I made a salad. And I'm so glad to hear Edie showed me the smoothie with her hemp seeds. Believe it, hemp seeds are wonderful for our health, and they do not contain cannabinoids. Remember this, you don't get high off the seeds, eating them, smoking them, whatever. In fact, you don't want to smoke them, you'll get headache. But 4 times the number of trees. And hemp is quickly replenishable. You can do 3 crops on an acre per year, and that equals 12 acres of trees that take decades to centuries to grow. Think. How long is it going to be before we find out that we cannot breathe money? We can't. We can't breathe money. Okay? Let me look at some of this stuff here. This is a multi-trillion-dollar industry just in hemp alone. Biodiesel is safe. Hemp biodiesel, ethanol or methanol, is safer than your groceries. It's safer than table salt. Cannabidiol and even THC is safer than aspirin. Aspirin's at the bottom of the food chain in the pharmacology, whatever. Okay? Aspirin is your simplest, whatever, drug. It can all be replaced. And I get lost. I'm in pain today. I'm getting over with the neck. But let's see. What are they? They planted hemp around Chernobyl, and it took the radiation out of the ground and the air. Now imagine what that can do to our our area, out here, nothing but cotton fields, okay? And every 2 crops of cotton, they have to plant something called milo or a feed or some kind of feed crop and that replenishes the ground. Hemp never needs a break for replenishing the ground. Even when you harvest it, whatever hemp is left on the ground will be fertilizer. That's simple. And you don't need weed killer. You don't need pesticides. You don't need hazardous fertilizers. This is for hemp or cannabis. It's just a very big industry. It will help Mr. Trump. It'll help build the wall. It'll give everybody jobs building the wall. Hemp industry, you can use the hempcrete. You can use hemp to make cheaper blocks and bricks to build your wall. Isn't that so simple? Doesn't that sound very simplistic? Well, it is. It's very easy. Okay? But politics doesn't work that way. Okay? Because you have lobbyists and special interest groups and shit like that. And it's not right. Because hemp biodiesel puts out oxygen when it's burning. It doesn't put out smog and pollutants like corn ethanol does. Okay? Corn is not safe biofuel. It's not. Hemp biodiesels are safe. Either one. Okay? Hempcrete. Seeds. Dun, 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 dun. I can make books that last. Make clothing. The clothing industry and the makeup industry can benefit from hemp. Things that are in makeups and perfumes, you can use hemp. And clothing. Clothing is a billion-dollar industry, multi-billion-dollar industry, okay? Because let's face it, girls, women like a closet full of clothes and you never have anything to wear. Go hemp. You'll have very good clothing that's pest resistant. No moths are going to ever get into your closet. Hemp clothing in your closet will negate the need for mothballs or cedar. Simple. The terpenes in the clothes themselves, bugs can't stand. Even if you wash the hemp, the bugs still don't like it. Because the stuff stays in there. Let's see. Like, let's stop the made in China, tags. Or they're stamping now. Instead of putting a tag in, they put a stamp there. But we see so many things coming to us that are made in China, made in Taiwan, made in Korea. Hemp clothing industry in America will provide jobs. It will stop the sweatshop labor overseas. Okay? Of even these like celebrity lines that say, oh, yeah, we're all for this and, feed the hungry children and all that. Yet they have their clothing line made overseas in sweatshops where people are paid less than $1 a day to try to live on. And they're forced to just work without breaks, okay? I'm not saying we want to hurt the Chinese people by stealing everything away from them, but we can make hemp clothing here. You make it, you grow it in the borders of the country, you make it within the borders of the country, you sell it within the borders of the country, you create an economy. Why is it so difficult for these people to deny hemp when it has been proven that the Declaration of Independence was written on hemp? Washington grew it. Jefferson grew it. Lincoln smoked it. What he called sweet hemp, which is marijuana. Hemp and marijuana are different, remember that. Okay, but hemp has industrial uses. Benjamin Franklin, with his first printing press, printed everything on hemp paper from his own plantation. Same thing with Washington, okay? They used hemp to pay taxes back in the 18th century. It was legal tender. Oh, you want a cow? Give me 3 bales of hemp. Here's a cow. Here's your hemp. Okay. This can keep going. This can happen today. If the government would listen. If Mr. Trump, if you finally get to see one of my videos that I tag you in, I don't know if people see it before you see it. I don't know if you ever get to see these. But I hope you do. I hope the president gets to see these videos. And anybody in the cabinet or whoever may watch these when I tag the president, and they say, who's tagging the president? Let the president see one of my videos. Let him hear the voice of reason from a guinea pig who has been treating himself with everything. Opiates, marijuana, and hemp. Okay? And I'm living a better quality of life. My PTSD is in control. My pain is in better control. My anxiety and depression is gone. And I'm able to do these videos. Where even a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I still wasn't ready to face people like this. And I'm an introvert. But I've gotten used to talking to myself. Because that's what I see here is me. But I don't know how many people that see this. I haven't even looked to see how many views all of my videos have. But I hope that they get passed on. That's why I title each one Marijuana and then a subtitle. So everybody can just look under marijuana and you'll find my videos. Or if you go to my channel at rthuff415@gmail.com. Now, let me get back to this thing. Jeffrey Zucker, president of the cannabis business strategy firm Green Lion Partners, praised lawmakers for sticking with the status quo. Zucker said medical cannabis patients in the U.S. can rest easy knowing they won't have to return to the black market to acquire their medicine. And operators can relax a bit knowing their hard work is not for naught and that their employees' jobs are safe. Because if they come in and disassemble the medical marijuana program in Arizona, all those people are now out of a job. All of those people are out of work. What, Mr. Sessions, what would you accomplish by closing dispensaries and putting people out of work? Is that justice? No, it's not. It's not even justifiable. You cannot justify shutting down these local businesses, okay? And you got to get off their backs and you got to let them use the banking system, okay? Because these people collect a lot of cash daily and they need armed bodyguards to get it safely to a bank. Because I'm sure a dispensary can bring in upwards of $10,000 to $20,000 a day. Okay, on 420, the place was packed. When I went in there yesterday on the first of the month, probably because it was a Monday, but there was 2 people, 1 person in front of me. That was it. And I had everything pre-ordered so that all they had to do was ring it up. I didn't have to sit there and say, some of this and some of that. I shop off of my Leafly app that tells me the menu that they have. And then I call them or text them and say, can I get so much of this strain, so much of this strain, so much of this strain? They'll hold it for me and not sell it to anybody else. They'll put it in a bag and it's got my name on it. And they even had my Rick Simpson oil, my cone papers, and the vape oils. They had everything all bagged up for me. So it's like 5-10 minutes in and out. And they're wonderful people because they hold for me. On 420, they handed out, because I spent so much, a certain amount of money, they gave me 5 $25 off coupons to be used between April 1st and April 30th. But when I said, oh, I can't use these, honey, sorry, I only come in on the 1st when I have money, I won't be able to use these. Because you pay, if you at least buy $250 worth of stuff, you get half of it off. Okay? So I said, sorry, honey, I can't use these. And she said, hold on. And boom, talked to Aaron or one of the owners, and they said, yeah, if you come in on May 1st, we'll honor it for you because you're a good customer and we love you. That's what they did for me. So I love you back, Botanica. I'll tag you guys too. Just in case anybody in Arizona gets to see my video. Gotta do something else real quick. Okay, we're back. So let me see here. So, in theory, Sessions could still take action against states that have legalized recreational marijuana. And right now, 8 states in D.C. have those laws, and they are not shielded by the language in this budget bill, which is really freaking idiotic. Okay, if a state enacts recreational marijuana, so people have the opportunity to self-medicate. If they can't afford to see a doctor on a regular basis, like I do because of my insurance, if they can't see a doctor, they can at least self-medicate with weed. So the recreational market should be left alone too, Mr. Sessions and Mr. Trump. Don't screw with it. It's a good system. It is not harming anyone. It's pissing off the anti-weed Nazis, like Mr. Sessions. He's over here. Okay? And like I said, over here in super stoner counterculture, I'm not there, I'm not here. I'm here in the middle with millions of people that need medical marijuana. And a recreational law does not necessarily mean stoners are just going to be able to get stoned. People are going to be able to self-medicate. If they don't feel good, but they can't afford a doctor or the emergency room, hemp oil that they can already get in 50 states and cannabis can make you feel great. Because, like I said, I'm always espousing the benefits of Tracy's hemp oil. But I have to give Rick Simpson oil its due, because I did start that at the same time as the hemp oil. And I am bombarding my body with 5 to 6 times the typical dose of hemp oil and Rick Simpson oil. 5 to 6 times the typical dose. And I'm not going to overdose. You do not overdose on cannabinoids. These are simple little hydrocarbons that are made to go in our bodies. Our bodies love hydrocarbons. We have the receptors on our cells. Okay, cell walls, veins, lymphatic system, bones, glands, organs, blood, nerve. CB1 receptors. And in the head, you got THC and CB1. The rest of the CB2 receptors are on your immune system. Why would they be there? Is there something to do with being healthy? Yes, of course. Yes, it is. Your immune system takes cannabinoids to make your body healthy. Okay? Mr. President, sure, you've never done drugs or smoked a cigarette or drank a beer in your life, whatever, fine. That's you. Okay? But if you felt severe intractable pain like I do, and like a lot of my friends do, you'd say, give me a codeine, or give me a morphine, or something. If you felt intense, intractable pain, you'd think twice, okay? And take doctor's advice, because the doctor will give it to you for your pain. My doctor has built up, me and my doctor have built up my morphine, and everything is going fine. And especially with the Rick Simpson and the hemp oil, I'm doing better than fine. Just being from a total 7 all the time to a 5-4 all the time has improved my quality of life by half, at least. And it makes me able to open up and talk to people and do these videos without a script. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, people. But let's see, safe, efficient. This biofuels, safer than aspirin. Where else did I write? Oh, no? Where did everything go? There it is. Oh, no, that's just to rehash what I've already said. While medical marijuana is legal in 29 states and D.C., and another 15 states have laws allowing limited use of CBD, and it says the non-psychoactive ingredient in pot that holds promise for therapeutic use. Cannabis is still illegal at the federal level, and that's why proponents of MMJ are thrilled by the ongoing legislative caveat that ultimately have their sights set on changing the law. While this is great as a continuing step, it's important for activists, me and you guys, and the industry to remain vigilant in getting cannabis federally unscheduled and truly ending the prohibition of this medicinal plant. This Dr. Zucker said. I like that guy. What are the what? Let's see. Appeals court rules feds can't prosecute. That's from last year. Marijuana, is the party over? That's from January. It says, marijuana is illegal under federal law. This is from CNN. Very trustworthy news service. Sorry about that. So it says here, story highlights. One of the many decisions facing President Trump is whether to continue the federal government's hands-off policy on marijuana. Now, two legal analysts, Paul Callan and Danny Savalos, debate this issue. So, Donald Trump is facing a decision whether to continue the government's hands-off policy on marijuana, which has allowed the legal sale of the substance in 27 states. This is from January. Senator Sessions has signaled that the new administration could end the practice of allowing states to legalize pot. Okay, that's already gone. That's because marijuana is illegal under federal law. It's a Schedule I controlled substance, making possession or distribution a federal felony. Unless and until the law is repealed, doesn't the president have an obligation to enforce the law as written? This guy says, yes, as a criminal defense attorney, you might think I'd be anti-enforcement. But there's no question that the president and the attorney general are charged with enforcing the law. Arbitrary or selective enforcement of existing laws in itself an abuse of power. Selective enforcement of a law based on standards, broad discretion. There's a lot of bullshit in this. Just back and forth, and this guy must stand with Sessions by the sound of his thing. But, let's see. Find something new. Dun, dun, dun. So the powder industry feels easy, breathes easy. House votes to ban some pot law enforcement and cut the DEA budget. That was in 2015. So the Ninth Circuit Court barred the federal prosecutions for state law authorized medical marijuana. Okay, so that's medical marijuana. Great. Love it. Medical marijuana and opiates therapy. I say over and over again, they work together. And I'm living proof, okay? Am I special? I don't know. But everything I'm doing has given me the ability to do these videos, and I am taking 13 courses in college level courses. 13. 35 credit hours, and they're all due in the next 4 months. 35 credit hours. Hell, I almost killed myself doing 18 credit hours at Pima Community College way back when. I was riding a bike from home to a pizzeria. I worked there in the mornings. I'd ride up the hill to the college, take my courses, ride back down the hill, work at 7-Eleven overnight. Then I finally get home at 8 in the morning. I have to bike all the way up to Pima College again, and then back down to my job here and this job here. And I was doing that with 18 credit hours. It was killing me with the pregnant wife. But now I'm taking all these courses. And I want somebody to tell me that I'm unmotivated. Because I am homebound disabled. Okay? One of those people that you could imagine going crazy and getting cabin fever. I do not. Why? Because I'm able to control my pain, which keeps me from being depressed, which is when people eat a gun when they're depressed. I don't get depressed. If I do, it doesn't last me more than an hour. It doesn't. But marijuana, opiates, and hemp oil have all combined to put me to the point where I have so much thought going through my head that I have just got to study and learn and teach myself. So I'm going through 12 courses on Coursera and one on edX that I won't see for 3 more weeks. Doesn't start until the 1st of June. And this is only May. And happy May! We're almost halfway through the month. Getting a call. Hello. This is Rick. Who's this?
Hey Rick, this is Tim calling from Molecule. How are you this morning?
From who?
This is Tim. I'm calling from Molecule. Debbie left us a voicemail yesterday.
What is Montu and how do you spell it? I can't even understand you.
Oh, I apologize. That's Molecule. The one that you just got an air purifier from.
Oh, Molecule. Okay. Hold on, people. I'll be right back. Hello, and I'm back again. I'm back outside having another cigarette. It's actually been over like an hour. This guy had to help. We got this air purifier Debbie found, and it's the brand name is Molecule with a K. Molekule. Well, the guy came here the day before, Saturday. And so Debbie opened it yesterday, and we're looking at, last night when we got home. And the very instructions said, first, download the Molecule app. Well, I looked on the Play Store, not there. And we have the Google Play Store and what's the other one? But anyway, we have Android. Everything we have is Android. Well, this Molecule app is only available from Apple. It doesn't work on our phones. But We don't need it. Because the only reason you get the app is it works through Wi-Fi. So if you're not home, but you heard that you had a dust storm come by, you can program it from your phone and tell it to turn on. And it goes through your modem and your Wi-Fi, and it talks to it, so you can talk to it from remote. But I said, I'm home 24/7. And the guy said, everything's right there I can do everything. And he says, also, if it was hooked to Wi-Fi, it automatically says you need new filters. And it'll order a filter for you. Or if we're not hooked up to the internet, he said, then they'll automatically send us a new filter every 3 months. And I told him, I said, I smoke a lot of weed in the house. And he said, that should take care of it. You should still only need a filter every 3 months. I was like, cool. I tell everybody, because I say, I want people to be informed. Like neighbors. I've said it. I smoke weed. If you ever smell it, don't worry. Don't call the cops. I'm legal. Because I sit out here and smoke sometimes. And the smell travels. It's over 100 yards to my nearest neighbor. I mean, I could almost show you their roof if I picked up the app. But anyway, I just wanted to finish up outside here and have another cigarette. I'm ducking in and out of the... But I'm recovering from last night. I tried the... what was it called? Pennywise. Yes, Pennywise. The strain that I showed yesterday. And I bought a half ounce of it last night. It is good. I put some pictures of it too on the group. So the Pennywise is good. I like it. It knocked me out when I laid down. Boom. Debbie came out and said, you left the TV on, because boom. Usually I'll lay there and watch TV and I shut it off when I'm ready to crash. Well, this weed just knocked me out, which is good. That's what I want. And plus I got my sativa strains because I want to add more hemp. And I'm adding more Rick Simpson. I've got 4 syringes now. And I'm still working on my last one. Because I bought one, and then on 4/20 I bought 2 more. And just last night I bought 2 more. Because I'm taking heavier and heavier doses of it. So I'm going to need more syringes. But I'm not going to get more than 2 syringes a month. Because that's $130 a month just for that. And the high potency full spectrum hemp oil is $93 for a bottle, 30 milliliter bottle. And if you add that in, and then my cannabis salve is $35. My ant venom from South America cost me up to $80. But I've got my stems that I soak in alcohol. Boom, works great for topical. And the new topical marijuana salve that I've been using, I showed you in the videos too, is awesome. It kills the pain in this trapezius muscle. So let's close this out here at just over an hour. I'll come up on an hour, 54 minutes. And again, President Trump, hemp-based industry, medical marijuana for VA PTSD vets. All vets should automatically be given the choice of, do you want medical marijuana or do you want antidepressants and antipsychotics? Okay, that's the question. And that's the way it should be. Don't just sit there and go, oh, what's wrong with you? He's a vet and he just came back from overseas. I know what they need. And the VA should automatically think that too. And say, okay, we can give you marijuana, or we can give you this, or we can give you this. What would you like? Give them the option. And don't charge them for the drugs. These people have put their lives on the line for less than minimum wage. I mean, sometimes some people are only getting $30, $40 a day. When a basic private, that's about, because if you work it out daily, your daily income from your base salary every month, you figure out 30 days to the month, it comes out to like $30 a day is what they're earning. When I was a waiter, I was earning up to $100 a day just in tips. Not to mention the next $100 that's in my work for the day, depending on how long I worked. And Mr. President, hemp is an untapped potential. Okay, it's been tapped. Then it got prohibited. And hemp prohibition is the stupidest thing ever. I'm not calling the president stupid. I'm calling the law stupid. Okay, to have banned hemp when it was called the first billion-dollar crop in 1936. It's a multi-trillion-dollar crop now. Clothing industry, body and bathing and beauty products, baby products, animal food and bedding, paper, concrete, plastics, biodiesel. Grow the hemp, make hempcrete, build you all out of those bricks. Kind of like a snub to Mexico. We don't need your cannabis, we've got our hemp to build our wall. Okay? Think about that. Doesn't it make sense? We need more common sense. Okay? Common sense in federal laws. I'm taking 2 courses, the written Constitution and the unwritten Constitution. The meaning behind the words. And I'm doing all I can to find where we can say, okay, we need to lobby for a bill to go through Congress and force it through Congress and make sure the president doesn't veto it, and not this big omnibus bill. Just one thing. Medical marijuana and hemp. 2 things, sorry. Start growing hemp for industry. You'll make billions, maybe trillions. Relieve the restrictions on the banking system for dispensaries. Let them use the banking system. Okay? You can collect taxes then. Then you'll have the right to collect taxes if the federal government backs it. Think. Think about all the things that can be done good with hemp. We can heal the soil. We can heal the air. We heal the ground and the groundwater just with hemp or cannabis, because they're the same when they grow. They outcompete the weeds. They don't need pesticides or defoliants or fertilizers. Potassium, phosphorus, nitrogen, sunlight, water. That is it. And these crops are worth a lot of money. And to overlook it when the federal government just sweeps it to the side. Oh, we don't want to deal with this because we're worried about re-election and having the anti-weed Nazis won't vote for me if I legalize. Don't worry about that, Mr. Trump. I'm betting if you legalize medical marijuana across the board, relieve the federal restrictions, start growing hemp, you will get re-elected. I'll vote for you. I voted for you on the subject that you would leave medical marijuana alone. And then you appoint Jeff Sessions, a very biased individual. Okay? Biased people should not be in charge of our health. Okay? And when you get interdict with cannabis and hemp and the opiates, you're playing with people's health. You're playing with people's emotions. Okay? You make people worried that they're not going to have their morphine or their opiates because you're cutting the supply on the shelves. And the pharmacies can't hold on enough to product to take care of the customers who are regulars. Every month I go in and I need a 60 milligram and 30 milligram refill every month. Okay, 120, 30 milligrams and 60 of the 60 milligrams. I need that every month. And now every 3 months I have to put in a prior authorization letter saying, my doctor has to vilify the fact that he's got me on so much morphine for a reason. Because my pain is so intense. Okay, and the federal government's got to learn to get off the back of legitimate doctors and legitimate patients. Okay? We don't deserve to be treated like second-class citizens because we think marijuana will help us. We're not hippies. We're not super stoners. We're not over here. And we're not over there for sure. We're right here in the middle. Chronic pain, 250 diseases. I'll go over the diseases again tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Wednesday. No, tomorrow is Wednesday, Thursday. Maybe I'll do one more video this week on Thursday. Give me some subjects. I need topics, as always. Some people, in fact, Edie said, you said it before I even got to ask the question. Sometimes I feel things from people as my empathicness, empathy. So I have empathy, a photographic, and eidetic memory with an IQ over 160. And you cannot tell me that weed makes me stupid, drug-addled, addicted, walking zombie that can't think for himself. Okay? I aced my midterm with a 93% in psychology. That was my first midterm I've done since I was in college 30 years ago. Okay? And I ace it. I speed read through the lectures because my lectures are all, you've got the video to watch and hear, and he's got the text. Well, I just use the text, and I go through at my own pace. And whoever transcribed it, they put in every little sound. Like if the instructor goes, well, this portion here, the person typed all those it's in. So it gives me the chance to speed read through lectures where the lecturer is hemming and hawing. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm able to do when I smoke marijuana. Whether the high THC strains or the sativa strains. I've just noticed that the sativa strains have different cannabinoids and different cannabinoid levels that help me when I study. I remember, okay? And I'm able to take these tests and pass them for the first time. Okay? I'm given 3 attempts. And if you don't pass it in 3 attempts, you have to wait 8 hours before you can retake the quiz. Because the quiz is always the same questions. Anyway, so that's it. Justice Department is not going to get any money to interdict medical marijuana laws. That's great. Now, President Trump, if you just start utilizing hemp and give cannabis to our vets, you'll get reelected. Okay? Build your wall with hempcrete. Or use the money from hemp crops and marijuana crops to fund the wall and to help bail out the welfare system and to get the people off the welfare that don't belong on it. Okay? Those people that go out and buy lobster on their EBT cards, that's a blatant misuse of a federal gimme. They gave it to you for free, okay? Because you don't make enough money to live. Well, they give you this money to buy food. And to go and buy fresh lobsters, like $30 a pound, is ignorant and stupid and a misuse of federal funds. And people should get in trouble for that. Okay? And there's too many baby factories. I'm sorry, but people that are just baby factories and have 5 or 6 baby daddies, and they're milking the welfare system. And it's just not right. And we can bail out everything. We can bail out the government's debt. Build the wall. Get the illegals out of the country. Give jobs to Americans. Create industry here for American jobs. And utilize these multi-trillion-dollar crops. And get off the backs of medical people and people that use opiates. You have no idea what you're doing to people when you screw around with the opiates availability. If you deny its use to people, they're not going to have a very good opinion of the government. If the government hinders them from feeling less pain. It should not be done. We should not treat our people like this. So, as a patient, and a medical marijuana user, and hemp oil user, and an opiate user, I say it doesn't make you an addict. It's anti-addiction. And all the hemp oil and stuff I'm taking, that's actually anti-high. That's why I take it in, I take a dropper full in the morning, let it get in my system, and then I smoke my weed. And I have to smoke a lot to overcome the anti-high of the CBD that I take. So I'm walking the slope and I'm walking the razor's edge and I'm living. And I've gotten a quality of life that is just great. I'm finally able to enjoy alone time because I've got my studies and I love to learn. And marijuana helps me do that. Without marijuana, I'd be a couch potato, sitting there staring at the TV, not even caring what I'm watching. Okay? Marijuana opened up doors. It opens doors for people. It's an exit drug for people with chronic depression problems, PTSD, anxiety, fears, phobias. Marijuana helps people get through those, and it's always a good thing. There is no negatives to marijuana. Nothing. You cannot. Cotton mouth, dry eyes. My nose runs when the weed's really good. I get a runny nose. I sniff a lot. But it's just, prohibition has got to be lifted. And the Justice Department has got to get off our backs and start treating us like legitimate patients. Treat us like equal Americans. Just because you're in Washington and in a political position, given the job by the president or however you got there, you lose touch with the populace. Okay? You've got to listen to people like me and all the people that say cannabis needs to be legalized. You've got to listen to us. Don't go off of one person's personal feelings, and don't put a person who has such strong anti-weed feelings in charge of the drugs, in charge of as your drugs are. Don't do that. It's so wrong. You need somebody who's medically, scientifically trained and impartial. And that takes Dr. Oz, Sanjay Gupta, Centers for Disease Control, disease virologists, those people. I trust them much more than a frickin' politician. Okay? So it's time to get the politics out of healthcare and pull healthcare out of politics. And it's time to take care of the citizens of this country and allow us to use the safest treatment available. Marijuana. No deaths, no addictions, nothing bad. The only thing bad is what people think about it. And that's wrong, because you're thinking the wrong things. Okay. Peace out. Thank you. Free marijuana from the prison of ignorance.